K2TV, Wyoming's sports leader. Here's this week's high school football huddle.
Good evening, everyone. Along with my partner, Kiera Grogan, I'm Carmine Gemei, and this is the high school football huddle. It's week 2 of high school football, and the 4A teams are playing their 3rd game of the season.
That's right, Carmine. We still have 4 4A teams that are undefeated through 2 games.
Right.
And those top 4 teams in the state played 2 games against each other tonight. So that means we'll have 2 teams that are 3-0 and 2 teams that are 2-1.
Okay, Kiera, that's about 5 more numbers than I can handle at once.
Of course.
So I'm going to start with no numbers. Let's start with our unranked 4A matchups before we get into all that arithmetic you mentioned.
Sounds good.
All right. So, Kiera, you'll have to slow it down for me.
Okay.
But you have one more set of numbers that you need to mention.
Yes. Sorry, Carmine. I'll slow it down for you. So that's the record of both Kelly Walsh and Cheyenne South coming into tonight.
Right. 0-2, right? Right.
And now Kelly Walsh has their first win this season. They beat South convincingly 47-8. So good for them. That's a nice comeback from last week when they lost 55-0 at home against Cheyenne East.
Yes, that was a tough one. And you know, first-year Kelly Walsh head coach Aaron McKelkey's very happy to get his first win with the Trojans.
I'm sure.
And in our second unranked matchup, good for me because no numbers, Campbell County beat Laramie 48-41 in overtime. And how about that? That's the Camels' first win, Kiera, in school history.
Good stuff.
So incredible. 3 years since the Gillette High School split up. So historic win for the Camels tonight. And congratulations to them.
Nice, making history. And then down in Rock Springs, the number 5 Tigers hosted Central, and the Indians beat the Tigers in a close one, 36-29. This is a week after Central came within a touchdown of beating Sheridan.
Yes.
So they could be our 3rd new number 5 team in 3 weeks.
Everything is switching around. And Kiera, this was a big one for us. Our high school football huddle game of the week. That was a big one. Number 1 Natrona County at number 4 Sheridan. These two have met the past 3 years in the state title game. Natrona County beat Sheridan last year, but before that, the Bronx beat the Mustangs 2 years in a row to complete the state title three-peat.
And Carmine, either Natrona County or Sheridan has won the state championship in the last 9 of 10 years. Sheridan's won 5 and NC's won 4. And tonight, Sheridan surprised Natrona County in a big way, winning 31-7, and now they're 3-0, and NC is 2-1. But we do need to mention NC's All-State running back Dante Wallace, who was hurt for tonight's game. Yes,
that is a big loss. I saw him yesterday at the pre-volley bowl, and he was very upset he couldn't play. But Kiera, you mentioned either the Bronx or the Mustangs have won 9 of the last 10 state titles. That's an incredible run. I cannot believe that Sheridan shocked them like that tonight. But the only other team with a championship in that span, Cheyenne East. They won in 2013 by 1 point over Natrona County. Tonight, the number 3 Bolts played in our other ranked matchup, hosting number 2 Thunder Basin. And this was a much closer one. The Bolts barely eked it out, 31-30. So they could be the new number 1 team in the state. Although Sheridan could jump over everyone depending on, how much they rank that win over the current number 1 for next week.
Right, yeah. So we'll see how those results switch up the rankings next week. Now let's move over to 2A. So I was out this evening at the Glen Rock Herders home opener hosting the Newcastle Doggies. The Herders have reached at least the state semifinals the last 4 seasons. I caught up with their first-year head coach, Ryan Collier, right before kickoff.
It's been a good transition so far. It's been pretty smooth. I've kept a lot of my coaching staff, so it hasn't been that rough of a transition yet. There won't be a whole lot of changes. I like the double wing offense. I'm a ground and pound type of guy, and that's what we're going to run.
The Purple People Eaters ready to watch their Herders at home underneath the beautiful full moon. First quarter, though, the Newcastle Doggies at the 1, and Tristan Warnke takes the direct snap right up the middle for the touchdown. Newcastle goes up 7-0 on the number 5 Herders. And look at this reaction from Matt Konzelman and his coaching staff. Gotta love that enthusiasm from the Doggies. Gotta channel that for this highlight. But Glen Rock's going to come back strong. Early second quarter, here's Dawson Blaylock with his quarterback Jonah Young as the lead blocker, Glen Rock style. Dawson takes it 50 yards to the house. The Herders got the 2-point conversion and take a 1-point lead, and their sideline is just as pumped as Coach Konzelman. Same score, end of the first half. Doggies driving. Quarterback Braden Fry tries a jump pass, but it's picked off by Aiden Orozco for the Herders. And that is how the first half ended. Glen Rock took an 8-7 lead into halftime, and they win 22-7. They lost their top 4 rushers from last year, including the first and second leading rusher in all of 2A, Tucker Bopp and Ian Arnold. But Kiera, Dawson Blaylock did a nice job. The Herders are 1-1 and 2-0 in Class 2A. and it really felt like back at home with that crowd in the great town of 2600 in Glen Rock.
Small town, but they all definitely love their football.
That's right.
So from number 5 in 2A to number 4, tonight Burns beat Moorcroft, and that was 22-7 in an unranked matchup. Lyman easily won over Kemmer 38-7.
And remember, in our last game of the week, the defending champs in 2A, number 1 Buffalo Bison barely beat the 3A number 4 Douglas Bearcats. Kiera, you were at that one. Well, tonight they easily beat Thermopolis. Actually, not so easily. 2 touchdowns, still pretty close, 28-14. And in last year's state championship game, Buffalo beat Mountain View. Tonight, Mountain View beats the Big Piney Punchers 52-6.
Wow, big win there. Speaking of state championships, Carmine, that's what Bighorn won in 1A. Tonight they hosted 2A Grable and were ahead 55-0 in the third quarter. And another interclass matchup, 3A, number 3 Jackson beat 2A huge Pinedale 59-6.
Yeah, we have some big margins here. 2 more interclass matchups, 1A Shoshone at 2A level. And there's no love lost. The Level Bulldogs win 48-8. Then we had a couple ranked teams in this one. Number 3 in 2A Wheatland at number 2 in 1A Upton Sundance. And another wide margin, 62-7.
In just a moment, we'll have 2 more highlights, a bunch more scores, and our big hits. We'll be right back on the High School Football Huddle after the break.